Well, hello again, chess fans. Yeah, I guess we might as well just jump right in here. So, as you should be aware by now, we are doing tactics in this specific section of the road to GM. Um, like I mentioned a lot before, is that when you're doing tactics like this, it is a lot more important to get them right than it is to get them quickly. You in general do get rating. It looks like you even get at least one rating point, even if you take 10, 20 minutes to get a single puzzle correct. So, of course, your percentage that you get rating wise goes higher the quicker you get the puzzle correct. But of course, if you don't get it correct, you lose rating. So, it is definitely more important to get them correct than it is to get them quickly. Um, Obviously, not just for rating purposes, but for yourself as well. You know what I mean? If you are getting every puzzle correct, then it means that you are really taking the time, and obviously, you are getting much better at tactics. So yeah, I'm gonna jump right in. Yesterday we managed to do, let me just count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 correct in a row, and then we screwed up the last one. Very depressing, but oh well. So we almost went 13 and 0, but we'll have to try again. Unfortunately, I feel as sharp as a really, really rusty nail. So it's going to be a challenge. But of course, if we take our time, hopefully we won't mess it up too badly. Uh, Current rating, just so you know, is 2577 in tactics. So 2577. Yesterday we started at 2543, so we climbed 44 points. See if we can crack the 2600 marker today. Okay, first tactic for the day. First quick things that pop into mind are these weak pawns over here on h7 and g7, of course. But is there anything concrete? Interesting. So knight d5 lends itself because of course the idea is just to go with a check on oh, maybe we can play a bishop check. Is there, let me just find everything. We have to find everything. So bishop d5 check. If knight takes, then queen takes, and after whatever move we play, queen takes d6, which wins us a piece. Now if we do go check and he plays king h8, then what? That is the only real question. Then what? So it would appear. Hello, Walid. We do have a check. The knight would have to take, so that doesn't really help us. No. Hmm. Interesting. So if we play bishop d5 check, he just goes king h8. What do we really have? Nothing much at this point, anyway. Hmm. We don't have anything after that. The knight is still defending g6. Huh. That annoys me. um, I see some crazy ideas with bishop f7 after that. So bishop d5, king h8, bishop f7. Is that good enough? Is that possible? Maybe not. Maybe not. No, it doesn't look like that is what we are looking for. So. I mean, bishop d5 looks like the obvious move. But after king h8, I just don't really know how we are planning on following it up. I wonder. So yeah, right on the first one, I'm stunted already. um, hmm. I mean, this knight on f4 looks very, very integral to our attack. So I don't think we have time for moves where we allow him to play bishop takes f4. Seems illogical. Well, knight d5 doesn't do anything straight away. I am confused. I don't like it. Oh, what is the material like? Okay, it's equal, isn't it? So yeah, so we're definitely looking for something concrete. Hmm. Turn on the brain. We need to turn on our brains. I don't have a brain right now. Like I said, I feel very rusty today. Playing terrible blitz as well. It looks like something like that, yes, but somehow doesn't look like we have enough to make it happen. Because if we can get another piece, obviously on, like let's say h5 or h4, a major piece, so a rook or a queen, of course, then it would be possible. Well, we can't do that, so it seems unlikely that that is the answer. Very unlikely. Yeah, I mean, so, because we can never play knight g6, it's just not available to us because of his knight. Now, there's no way for us to force his knight away as well. So I am confused. Now, I still like the slow idea of playing. Do we have that idea? Of playing bishop d5, king h8, and bishop f7. I still liked that. But after bishop takes f4, I was not so convinced. Maybe it still works. But then again, he doesn't have to move his knight after that. But still, what do you mean if he plays knight d5? Of course, he's not going to play knight d5 because we're going to play queen takes d5 and then he loses a piece on d6. So if we play bishop d5, he's not going to take. And on knight d5, I mean, there's so many options here. Knight d5, you're staring into rook takes f1, and then what? You don't really have anything, and he can just ignore you flat out again. That's the problem. He keeps on ignoring us. Just trying to see what my internet looks like here because it looks like it's not doing so great, but okay. I'm sure the sound is fine. And I'm sitting pretty still anyway, so it's okay. Stupid internet. I'm not convinced here. Really, I'm not convinced here. Maybe. Oh, blech. I just don't like this. I'm trying to find something like really crazy, but I am failing in this regard. Is there any way for us to attack his knight? Possibly. Possibly. What if we go bishop d5, king h8, and then rook e1 maybe? But you see, he takes our rook the whole time. Ah, the knight, sorry. He takes the knight on f4 the whole time, then we don't have the mate ideas. which is very, very annoying to me. Wow. Feel stuck. Feel absolutely stuck. Do we have time for a move like rook e1 first, maybe? I don't really think so. I am not convinced once more. Trying to see if there's any blocking we can play or something to prevent the queen from protecting the rook, but that's also not possible. Hmm. Well, I mean, there's obviously something here, but I can't find it. Okay, maybe I should play bishop bishop e4 first. Then what does he play? G6 maybe? No, I doubt that. I doubt that there would be any drawing plans here. So bishop e4, g6. Then what? Maybe just queen h6? Maybe then bishop d5 check. No. Hmm. No, you wouldn't want to draw in a position where it's already equal. You know what I mean? In all honesty, white could just play like bishop d2 and rook e1, you know, rook a to e1 and play. He can continue on the game. So there's no need to, you know, tactic will never be a draw. And this is the problem with tactics as well, is that you know you're looking for something, you know, something more than just whatever. If you are losing, of course, then you could be looking for draws. But if you're in a completely equal position and, you know, we obviously have a kingside attack going here, then it's obvious to me that there has to be something more to it. Now, bishop a3 g6, we can play knight takes. Or do we play bishop takes? I'm not sure which one. Let's say knight takes g6. Takes, then we take with a bishop, threatening mate. If he takes, we take check, and the bishop would be hanging on d6 as well. So that is an option. So I think bishop e4 looks like it might be the answer. I could be wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. You see? Okay, let's try bishop d5 because that was the only other move I could see here. So bishop d5, okay. Oh, maybe now bishop e4. Let's see. Yeah, so we had to change it around a little bit. That's all. So what? Take knight takes g6. No, apparently that's correct. Incorrect as well. Bishop takes, I assume then. Sorry. And of course, then we just win the rook. Okay, so yeah, so I had the idea right and just had to play the right order. So you want the king on h8 so that bishop e4 is even more potent. And of course, the pawn on h7 is pinned. So that was depressing, but oh well. Okay, so first one. Tactics 1, us 0. Okay, so there's obviously a back rank mate threat here. But there's also mate ideas with knight and bishop possibly. I'm not quite sure. Trying to find my way through this nonsense. Wow, dropped the whole 10 rating points for that previous one. So there's also knight f6. seems to have a hard time to move his... We can also play f5. Because the point is just to get the rook to a different square. If the rook is on e1 or e2, you can win it by playing knight f3 check. And then taking with queen takes e2. So f5 would do that job fairly simply. But so would knight f6. Knight f6. Ah, wait a minute. Is there a way to trap the queen here, maybe? Or am I just seeing ghosts? Knight f6, rook e2, knight d5, maybe? Where's the queen go? No, the queen could go over there. Bit of a nuisance. Although there's lots of attacks. I think knight f6, I mean, surely that's got to be correct. Okay, f5 could have been possible as well. Yeah, okay. Apparently I'm wrong again. Like I said, today was going to be a bad day. Probably f5. No, not f5 either. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So then what now? I mean, I was looking at options of knight f3. Knight g4. Very interesting. You see, my original thought was to trap the queen. Why don't I just go with that? G5. See, I had this idea that I could trap his queen, and I just can. How stupid. See, because I suddenly realized that the squares for his queen was very few. So, you know, you have to... so yeah, that was actually quite an easy one in the end, but oh well. He has no threats. I mean, rook f2 looks very promising. What's a material count? Material counts equal. Yeah. There's also the obvious of queen d4. Queen d4, rook g2, queen check, king maybe goes there. Interesting. All the puzzles today are, well, okay, the previous one wasn't actually as hard as I would have originally predicted, but what is the objective? I mean, the pieces on G1 and F1 look a little loose. And the king looks very awkward. On that back rank there. So queen d4 looks correct, but now the question is just how do we continue? I guess the queen on h5 also defends d1 square. Maybe we first want to have a weakness. Maybe we play knight a4 first. In which case he pretty much has to play c3, it would appear. Yeah, do we have a mating idea then? Knight takes c3, pawn takes, and wherever the king goes, we have rook f2. But it's not mate yet. You can block. Huh. When right now? Because I mean, of course, bishop a4, he doesn't have to do anything. You mean after knight of take. I'm just trying to see the variation. Knight a4, c3, pawn, knight takes pawn, pawn takes knight, queen takes c3, and king b1. And rook f2 looks promising, but he can play rook g3. No, he can't because we can play queen mate on e1. Haha. Now the question is, does he have to stop the mate this way? Can't he just play rook? No, okay. Yeah. Okay, I mean the sacrifice looks logical. There doesn't seem any reason for us not to sacrifice. Okay, it's correct. There we go. So now, like I said, if he plays pawn takes, queen takes check, king b1, then rook f2. If rook g2, then queen e1 is mate. What else does he have? He could go king, obviously after queen takes pawn, he could go king to d1. But it's the same problem, I fear, because of rook. Oh, sorry, the other thing wouldn't even stop the mate, would it? My bad, obviously. The rook wouldn't stop the mate anyway. So after rook f2, he's just trapped on the back rank here. There's no way for him to stop all the mates. Okay, next. We at least got one right. Yeah! Finally! Okay, it feels like there should be like a mate here somewhere. Check on f8, king goes here, check on a8. And then the king has no way to defend the queen, does it? So queen check. It's all just about finding the right checks for the king not to be able to defend the queen. That was a fairly easy one because we just skewered the king and queen in the end. So of course you don't go king f7 or queen f7 check because then you can't go to a8. So that's a fairly easy one. Nice of them to give us an easy one. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. We have a lot of pieces here in the attack. Very interesting. So we're obviously looking for some sort of mating net, I assume. Very interesting. So the only check we have, well, and there's two of them, but the only real check is knight f7 check. If king goes to, okay, let's see his squares. If king goes to, what's the material, by the way? That's always a good place to start as well. So we're two pieces up. So if king goes to e8, we can just go knight g5 check, winning the queen back, and then we'll be up a piece. So that seems fairly logical. If the king goes to, what other options does he have? He has d7, e7, and c8. Okay, so let's start with e7. If he goes to e7, then knight d5 check looks very promising, because the king would then have to go to d7. Wow, this is getting messy very quickly. No, you can't castle long. You cannot castle long because you're not allowed to castle through check. And the d1 square would be a through check. That was the first move I looked at, Walid. The first move I looked at. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. So it's slightly illegal. Yeah, exactly. Now, I was looking at options of taking the bishop, of course, as well. Which might not be a bad option because his queen is quite trapped as well. Actually, his queen looks very trapped. Huh. Huh. The queen does look trapped. Okay, well it can go to h4 in most variations. It's a little bit annoying, I guess. But of course, if we take, then we do have the castling check. But we have to look at our checks first. You know what I mean? So knight f7 check. If king e7, knight d5 check. King goes back to d7, and it seems like he survives for now. It does seem like he survives. We don't want a survivor, do we? We want death. Again, the queen. Okay, so maybe we can trap this queen. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Maybe, baby. Maybe, baby, baby. I am intrigued by this. There is another crazy option as well, which is fun. And that is to play rook g3. Very cool idea indeed, sir. Just attacking the queen. But we will lose material because he can take on e5 and then he can take back with the rook on our queen, etc. Although we might have some play. I don't know. This is quite complicated, this one. Because his king looks quite trapped in the middle of the board, but it's not. Not necessarily, anyway. Now again, we can go and munch material because, well, we don't have any real weaknesses right now, do we? We can win both rooks, definitely. I like the idea of knight takes b5 because then we do just have the castle, castling like you suggested earlier. And of course his queen does look quite tight in there. So knight b5 and knight f7 looks very tempting. Even rook g3 was tempting, but I don't like the idea that he can play sacrifice his queen. Yeah, but again, he can sneak around. So let's sorry. Let's say we go knight f7, king e7, knight d5, king d7. Now we can go knight to b6 check, and when the king moves, we obviously just take the rook. And then the rook is also hanging on h8, so we win all the rooks on the planet. So that is definitely possible. So the question is just, what's better here? Can we trap the queen immediately? Let's just look at that immediately, because if we can, then of course we should. So we take on b5. On g4. Sorry, I kept on saying b5. We take on g4. Afterwards, we castle alongside. And then we just have to basically attack the queen. I mean, where is his king gonna go, actually, for that matter? Actually, if we take on b5 after casting, where does his king go? Yeah, you know what? I think take on b5. I'm gonna risk it. Probably wrong, because it's been the order of the day. No, it's correct, apparently, yeah. So yeah, so taking on b5, because now the castling idea is actually massive. Why? Because we have the control over this diagonal here, and if we can just play bishop check here, it would also be mate. So if we go castle, if he goes king c8, then bishop f5 is mate. If he goes the other way, king e7, surely there's a mate somewhere in there as well. Knight check. King would have to move. Let's see. Of course, our king is safe there. We've won a lot of material back. His queen is still trapped. His rook is still trapped on h8. We can probably win the one on a8. So that's why knight takes b5 is the correct move. Cool. Here I feel like there should be a quick mate. Bam, 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 mate. He can sacrifice his queen. Is that okay? Maybe there is a way out for him. So knight check. Oh, he has to go to the corner if he does that. You see. Okay. Of course, we do have this bishop that's going to get all feisty. So look, we don't have to give a crap about him, taking on h7. So that's not important at all. Not even in the slightest. Now rook takes b3, pawn takes, then knight c3 does win a queen for us, does it not? Yes. So rook takes b3, pawn takes b3, knight c3, and takes. We still have the mate threat. Yeah, okay. So rook takes b3. Must be correct, and knight check. And that should... What? Really? No! How? Why? Apparently I'm wrong. Well, maybe queen first check. Okay, fine. Queen check first. Okay, fair enough. Because then we just have the extra rook check as well. So now we can just go queen back to a3 check and rook to b8 check. So we just replace the one rook with the other. Okay, fair enough. So that's a quicker mate, of course. My idea still wins naturally, but it does take longer. So that's why they like that variation more. Grrr. Okay, what's going on here? So we are white. We can queen, but then there is a mate. No, doesn't look like it. So, and if we queen, okay, if we queen, he then plays check and trades off queen, and he will win the f3 pawn, which will probably end up in the draw. Yeah, so that's the plan here. So we probably should play knight check first, after which if he takes, then we queen, but then there's the mate, so I don't like that idea. Sorry about that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Because he does have mating threats. Now there is this funny... No. It was like this funny positional idea here where we could try and mate him, but it doesn't work because we can't protect f3. So we have to revisit the idea of putting him in a bunch of checks. Interesting position. I mean, knight e4 is the only move, really. But he has so many mate threats. Knight e4 check takes. Then bishop e1 check. And then we can queen, because the bishop will protect all the squares. Aha! Perfect. Check. Check to your king. And then check here. And now we can just take it and we can queen. Yay! Vic, what? Why not? Oh, we'll be stalemate. We have to go for a rook. Sorry. I didn't even just really look at the end there. So we have to queen for a... We don't queen, we get a rook. Really? No? Maybe? Yeah? Okay. We'll just check, I guess. Fine, we'll just check you. And then we can just queen, yeah. Okay, fine. Because we can... Still not? There's still a stalemate here. Oh, it's still stalemate, isn't it? Wow. That's kind of cool. So he goes rook h5 check the whole time. And if you take it, it's stalemate. How cool is that? So in the end, we'll have to probably play bishop check here. So now, obviously, he doesn't have the mate. Now we can queen. Jeez, like that's a cool one. I want to re-show that one again. So, of course, we have to avoid rook h5 check at all costs. Okay, so first we divert the knight. Okay, but now we can't queen because knight f2 plus rook d1 and rook takes e1 is mate. So we go rook bishop e1 check first. He plays knight f2 check. We take it, and he doesn't take. He goes to f4. Because if we queen now, he can play rook h5 check. And then if we take it, it's stalemate. Okay. So we go check again. And he goes back here with the same idea. If we queen now, then again, he plays rook h5 check. And if we take it, it's still stalemate. So we go check again, but just on a different square. Of course, now there is no mate. And now we can finally queen. Quite a pretty puzzle, to be honest. And I only lost 1 rating point for it, so it's okay. I don't hate life yet. Okay, so here we want to do what? Okay, looks like we can maybe trap one of these pieces. The bishop on a6 is very trappable. So king g2 attacks his bishop. Where does his bishop go? Let's say he goes to d4. Then we can play rook f. No. Interesting. It's an interesting position. Obviously, we have to trap something somewhere. Okay? That much is logical because you can see that his bishop is trapped. You can see his bishop is trapped. Interesting. Very interesting position. Very interesting position. So just note that the white squared bishop only has e2 and f1 to go to right now. So if king g2, but now the problem is just if he attacks our bishop. Ooh, maybe we can play rook c2 then. But okay, now he can move his bishop again. Oh no, wait, sorry, he can't play bishop d4. Okay, can't play bishop d4 because of the obvious check on f5. Okay, so king g2 has to be the right move starting off. Okay, so now he attacks this way around. Now we could go check king. If the king comes forward, then we have the move. Maybe not. Looking for the move rook f3, c6, with a discovered check somewhere. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Not easy at all. Because where do we go next? We could go... Okay, let's say we attack his bishop. Let's say rook a3. Bishop then has to go to e2. Ah, okay, and then we can play rook e3. I see. Finally, I see it. Took me forever, but okay. Now we can check. And then just take the bishop. Aha! Took me forever to find that one. Retarded, but okay. Apparently it's a tough puzzle though. I still got 6 rating for that and it took, what, almost 4 minutes? I didn't actually look at what the average rating, average time was there. I should have checked there for the average time of that puzzle. Okay, so it looks like our little king is in a bit of trouble here. A spot of bother. Maybe we play a counter-attacking move such as h5, maybe? Very interesting. Some odd reason my internet's just dying out there. I don't know why. I know nothing open. It's just really, really bad. How's the sound, Walid? Is the sound okay? Sammy boy, hey my boy. My dog wants love. Come say hello to everybody. Up. Come say hello. Hello everyone. My name is Sammy and I am beautiful. Yes, I love my owner very much, thank you. I don't know why I'm British, but I love him, yes. Mwah. Okay, come on, down. Good boy. Sit, 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 sit. Ugh. Yeah, but the same problem. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. My internet's spiking like crazy. Knight f6, we run into the same problem. I keep on having the same issue. What if he plays queen h4? Question is, where is our queen going? Doesn't look like a happy queen, for that matter. Because look, he wants to try and play stuff like, I'm assuming he wants to play something like knight takes e6. Looks quite devastating, to be honest. Not gonna lie to you, boys. Not gonna lie to you. Looks disgusting. What time is it now? Oh. Oh, no, it's a lot of time, sorry. Okay, boy, okay. Calm down. Come on, calm down. Maybe he wants to go outside. That's really sorry to hear about his shit. Can we take, here's the question. Can we take on h2? Looks insane. Looks absolutely insane. Maybe you're right. Maybe we want, because if we go, let's say knight takes knight f6 and queen h4, then at least there's less pressure on e6. But still, the question is, where does the queen go? It's not exactly a happy camper, is he? She should have been a he anyway. No, I think we are in trouble. I want to resign. Give me resign options, please. Exactly, you can always take on e6. Then again, could we ignore? Do we have an opportunity to ignore him if he does? Maybe knight. No, I don't like knight f6 because you can always take on f6 later as well when our queen is gone. It just opens up our king massively. What's the material like? We are up material. That is important to note. It's very important to note. So, can we somehow... Ugh, this is sad. This is really a sad position, guys. Really it is. I mean, b5 is weak. Everything is weak. So surely we must have a tactic here, because if this is about survival, we're gonna die. Surely there's no way we're surviving this position here unless we get counterplay. Yeah, we're up a piece, so, you know, but again, if we don't get counterplay, I don't see how we survive. I really struggle to see how we survive, to be honest. I very much struggle to see how we survive this position. This is sad. On all accounts, this is really sad. Hmm. This is disgusting. I just want to resign for black. Yeah, where are we going to retreat to? Queen d6 runs into the same option. Knight takes e6 because the queen is hanging as well. That's disgusting. That's just terrible. The queen d6 doesn't work. Queen c7 doesn't work because of knight c takes b5. Same problems all over the show anyway as well. You know, he just wins an extra pawn as well. It's terrible. Now, if queen c5, and all this take stuff happens. I don't like any of this. I really find it hard to believe that we can survive this position. Okay, so h5 might be a saving grace. h5, queen h4, queen c5, knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes, and king f7. It's not pretty, but it does survive for now. His rook is hanging. He can't play queen h5 thanks to our pawn being on h5. So maybe we can survive this. Maybe. Yeah, but we lose too much material then. That's just losing too much material. If we could get, like, let's say a rook and a piece for our queen, then I would happily do it. Happily. But we have all kinds of other problems as well with the whole knight takes b5, with knight c7 is mate. Just so, you know, if anybody was wondering, if a knight plonks onto c7, it's checkmate. I really find it hard to believe that we can survive here. You know what? Maybe. Just maybe. Huh. Maybe what we can do, like you suggest, is just sack our queen. Why don't we just leave it there? What if we just leave it there? Maybe play something like b5. And at least we can survive. We do get material back. We are up a piece. And after something like b4, sorry, b4, not b5. After something like b4, rook takes queen, knight takes queen. His queen is hanging. Now he moves his queen. We don't really care where, whatever. Then we play knight b to d7, okay? And then he has to move his knight now. Does he? Yeah, no, yes, he does. Yeah, h5, I just, you know, queen h4, and then what? Sheppy. This is the problem. What are we doing after h5, queen h4? I mean, we have to go in full-on survival mode now. Because there's no way we're surviving this position by moving our queen. I highly doubt that. I find the idea retarded. Because we're dying miserably here. Yeah, I mean, queen sack looks a little bit more logical. I mean, I can think of worse ideas of sacking my queen. So I'm gonna chance it. Okay, I mean, it's probably wrong, but let's see what the computer thinks. Yeah, so it's wrong. Okay, but now I want to look at variations here. Okay, so we said h5. Let's look at that. Okay, apparently he likes to move, but what now? What, queen c5? I just want to look at the other. Really? Can we really play queen c5? I mean, is that really going to survive? Come on, really? Really? I mean, it survives for one move, but really? So you see, the reason, and this is what I was looking at, is the fact that if he plays knight takes e6, pawn takes, rook takes, and king f7. But I find it so hard to believe that we survive this position. I guess we do. But I find it very hard to believe that you want to play this. Interesting. Well, not really. I think it's retarded, but, you know, you can't move anything. You can't move any pieces. Okay, well. I mean, my initial thought was fine, but I still don't believe it. I can't believe it. So here, we obviously can't go king d1. So we have to go king h1. That's pretty much, that's a fact. I guess we could take, could sacrifice, could take on on d4. But it doesn't really look like it helps us much. Yeah, I mean, some tactics do, Walid, some tactics do. Because remember, I mean, if you do survive that position, you are going to win. Because you'll be up 2 pieces then. Because remember, if he plays knight takes e6 in that position, then you're 2 pieces up. So you basically just have to survive that. But I mean, that's not much of a tactic. That's just like, grit your teeth and hope you survive. Okay, king h1, I mean, that just looks like a very simple idea. I mean, what else are we going to play? We have checks as well. So, shall the checking begin? Check. Interesting. We do have bishop c1 as a block. Aha. Bishop c1 maybe? It's terrifying for him. Bishop c1 surely. It's just the blocking, isn't it? Yeah. So that's just a blocking puzzle. Because now of course his queen, he's gonna get his own king mated there. So the question here is, can we take? We do. Do we have any mate threats of our own? Of course we could just move our king. Takes, rook check, king, and then queen takes. And then we have a check of our own. Huh. So the question really is just, can we take on f2? I mean, we most definitely don't have to, because we can obviously just play the counter move knight e7. So if we go, let's say king, do we go king h1 or king h2? Oh, he's going to play back with bishop c5, isn't he? Is that the master plan? Yeah, but king h1 and then bishop c5. Then what? Then what, dear Watson? My dog still thinks I'm talking to someone. It's okay, boy. Come on, go sit down, my big boy. Yeah, I'll get you just now, big boy. Okay. Okay, big boy. I want to take it. Live dangerously. Rook goes check, and then queen takes. Now he has no threats after that, mind you. Now the rook has gone check. Queen goes. Yeah, we can. We can just take it. I think rook takes f2, rook check, king h2. If queen takes f2, then bishop e3 looks very tempting. Because then his rook is hanging, so now he's gonna have to defend that with whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bishop e3, yeah. So now he's gonna have to defend the rook, then you just take it, queen takes, and then knight e7 just wins you a whole rook, yeah. So we can just take it, yes. That is correct, sir. Bishop e3 is the obvious move, yes. Cool. Moving on. Still far behind where I was today. I'm still 15 rating points behind. Depressing. Okay, so here it would appear that all we really want to do is get a check in. So bishop d4 looks nice. Because if he takes with his bishop, then queen g5 follows to mate, does it? No, it doesn't actually. Oh, but it will eventually, won't it? Will it? Will it? Will it? Will it actually? Surely it does. Eventually. Goes there. I mean, surely it runs into mate. So if we go bishop d4, bishop takes d4, queen g5 check, king f2, queen check on g2, king e3, rook oh, we can't play rook takes. Oh, because of knight defense. Maybe not. That just puts a damper on all my lovely plans. Darn you. Still think we need to decoy this bishop away. Huh. We do have rook e5. Yeah, rook e5 does the same kind of job. But I see why you want to play bishop takes c3, of course, because you want to play, be able to obviously take on e4, yeah. I do see where you are going with it. But after rook takes e4, we're not threatening anything yet. That's the problem. Are we? No, we're not. Knight h... you can't play that. Possibly. But maybe you can play bishop f2 then. And block. Maybe. I don't know. Looks depressing. Not gonna lie to you. Yeah, bishop f2 then maybe? You see, he does get counter. You know, he can then play bishop f2, I'm pretty sure. Because if you got knight check, then he can move his king because your queen is hanging. Maybe just drop back with your queen though, I guess. Like, let's say queen h5, perhaps. Time is it? Oh, 5 minutes to go. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get back my rating. Maybe I'm just checking on the wrong squares. Interesting. Rook e5 still looks very promising as well. But again, he does have time, doesn't he? Still, I like rook e5. Can he do anything about that? I mean, if we just play rook e5? Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but I had another plan. I had the plan of going to. I wanted to change it, Sheppy. After queen takes g5, check king f2, we go bishop d4 check. Now, of course, if he puts anything on e3, he mates himself. Again, I'm not so sure about that. Not so sure if he has. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he does. Because, like you say, maybe we should focus on the white squares instead. Maybe. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So the main problem is the bishop. And, of course, the knight. Ooh. No. I thought I saw a very entertaining line. But maybe. Yeah, you can probably get away. I mean, bishop d4 still looks like the most brute force attack here, doesn't it? I mean, you can win his queen. What's the material like right now? We are down a piece, huh? Yeah. I mean, you can win the queen. Bishop d4. If bishop takes, queen check, king. Can we play? Maybe we don't have time for that. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bishop takes c3, I guess it's fine, huh? Pawn takes. It does look strong. Bishop takes c3, pawn takes. Rook takes e4, you say. What if he plays knight? No, he cannot, huh? Cannot play knight h2 because then he allows the check. Very, very interesting. So bishop takes c3, pawn takes c3, and rook takes e4. I was looking at bishop f2, but after rook g4 check, and let's say king h1, say h1, just for shits and giggles, then you obviously have to move your queen. No, it's double check, isn't it? Sorry. You don't have to move your queen because it's double check. Okay, so that is interesting, yeah. That is interesting to note because it's double check. That's important. That is definitely important. Very, very interesting. Yeah, okay, so queen h2 then? But okay, then you can maybe just play bishop bishop e5 check, hey. Off the rook check. Yeah, bishop e5 looks devastating. No, no, you don't have the bishop anymore, sorry. Sorry, we gave away the bishop. Yeah, but you don't have bishop anymore, remember? You just gave away your own bishop. See, I feel like the dark square bishop is going to be important to us eventually. Queen takes f2? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like it should work, huh? Okay, so let's look. It does look like it should work, yes. One just has to find all the right moves. Bishop f2, so okay, check. I assume he sacks his queen? Yeah, okay. But, there's still a mate, maybe. There's maybe still a mate. See, he can sack his queen, but if he plays, like, let's say, knight g3, we still play queen f3. So I assumed he would sack his queen, but yeah, there's still a mate net with on the white squares. So yeah. Okay, let's do one more before we finish. See if we can do a quick round. Queen check. Looks super logical, but after that, what then? We just take the piece? No, our knight's hanging. So queen check. Then what? What's the material like right now? We are going to be up a piece if we just take the knight. No? Is there any threats? Don't think so. Looks like we can survive. Hmm. Think we're probably fine, yeah. So we can just take it? I mean, what's wrong with just taking the knight? Take. I assume queen b3 was maybe a question? No, never mind. They don't. I thought maybe they want to look at queen b3, but surely we can just play queen c5 check and then take on a7. Sorry about that. Take on a7. Then there's nothing to stress about. He can take our rook, but we don't care. It's not that important to us. Okay, cool. So almost back to where I was. 5 rating points behind. Like I said, today was always going to be a bad day because I am as sharp as 0 right now, really. Been playing really bad chess, didn't sleep well, so tough cookie, huh? I think I'm just wondering whether I should skip the game later. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Because it's been a bad day and I just have a lot of work to do as well. So I think I'm going to skip the game. Screw it. We'll do it tomorrow. Because I'm just trying to prepare for my commentary that I will be doing on the 6th annual Washington International Chess Tournament. That'll be happening on from Saturday till Wednesday. It's double rounds per day. There's quite a few strong players already going to enter, a couple of GMs and stuff like that in the event. So, and they will. Now, there's obviously the top 9 boards are available. So I will be commentating on the top 9 boards. So please do come and pop in. But okay, I mean you'll have ample time to do that. That'll be over 5 days. So yeah, so I will definitely see you guys over that. But otherwise, yeah, I'll do some more tactics again tomorrow. I'll do the play game tomorrow as well, and I'll probably do a middle game section tomorrow as well. So thanks guys, I shall see you guys tomorrow then. Adios amigos.